It started on a cold, silent night. The stars above Earth shone quietly, unaware of the crime about to take place. In a hidden chamber far beyond Earth's skies, inside a cold and shining metallic ship, a man, though no longer truly human, prepared for his final test. His name was Kairos. He was once a scientist, brilliant and curious. But he had changed. Years ago, he left Earth to explore the stars. The stars, however, changed him. He returned not as a human, but as something else, powerful, heartless, cold. The woman's name was Maya. She had been taken from a quiet street in New York. 1 second, she was walking home from work. The next, a bright white light surrounded her, and she was gone. Now she sat, chained in a glass room, her eyes wide with confusion and fear. Kairos stood outside the glass. "You don't need to do this," Maya said, her voice shaking. "You were human once. You know this is wrong." "I was human," Kairos said, watching her like a scientist watches a bug. "Now I'm something greater. This is not cruelty, it's data." He pressed a button. The lights flickered. A strange humming filled the ship. Maya screamed. It was not loud. It was not long. But somewhere, deep in the Earth's crust, a vibration began. Kairos looked down at his screen. Maya's vitals stopped. "Test complete," he said. But something unexpected happened. All the ship's screens flickered. Static hissed through the speakers. The temperature dropped. A warning message appeared. "Anomaly detected. Origin, Earth." Kairos frowned. "That's impossible." The Earth, from where he floated above, looked the same, round, blue, and quiet. But inside, something had changed. The planet had felt the pain, and it had responded. Below, on Earth, strange things began. That night, dogs howled without reason. Trees trembled when there was no wind. A river in South America turned black for 5 minutes, then returned to normal. A baby in India opened her eyes and said a word she should not have known. "Stop," she whispered. In Antarctica, scientists recorded a low-frequency sound, like a heartbeat, coming from the ground. But Earth had no heart. Not like that. Back on the ship, Kairos tried to dismiss it. One subject. One reaction. Coincidence, he told himself. But as he slept in his cryo chamber, something else happened. His dreams were filled with images. Maya's face, her scream, but behind her something stood. A giant shape made of soil, water, and flame. It had no eyes, but it stared at him. Kairos woke up in sweat, something he hadn't done in years. "Ship," he whispered. "Scan Earth." The ship replied. "Unusual geothermal activity. Volcanic energy rising. Magnetic field unstable. Cause unknown. Possibly natural. Possibly ... responsive." Responsive. Kairos didn't like that word. The next day, on Earth, the changes became more visible. The moonlight turned red for 2 minutes. Seen only in the area where Maya had lived. In Africa, a mountain released smoke, but it was not smoke. It was a message. The letters formed in the air. "You are not welcome here." In China, a forest grew 3 times in size overnight. People everywhere felt something was wrong. They felt it in their bones, in the air, in the silence between words. Earth was not just reacting. It was preparing. Still, Kairos planned his next test. Another woman. Another experiment. But deep inside him, fear had returned. A feeling he thought he had killed long ago. The next night, he returned to Maya's chamber to review her recordings. But her body was gone. He froze. Security breach? He shouted. The ship replied. Negative. No door opened. No movement detected. But the chair was empty. The chains were broken. Kairos turned slowly, and she was there. Maya. Standing, whole, glowing faintly. "That's impossible," he whispered. "You're dead." Maya didn't speak. Her eyes were bright blue, brighter than before. She walked slowly toward him. He raised a weapon, but it melted in his hands. "What are you?" he asked. Maya looked up. "I am Maya," she said. "And I am Earth." She touched his chest. The metal on his suit cracked. "I felt your touch, Earth," said through her voice. "And I will return it." Kairos dropped to his knees. "You killed one of my children," Maya said. "I will not kill you. I will show you how it feels." And then, darkness, no light, no air, no time. Kairos opened his eyes and found himself buried deep in soil. He could not breathe, could not move. Earth was around him, pressing in. Not to kill, but to trap. He screamed, but no sound came. On Earth, people began to feel peace return. The sky turned clear. The forests stopped growing wildly. The oceans calmed. But one scientist, in a lab near the Arctic Circle, noticed something strange. The magnetic field was still unstable. Signals still came from Earth's core. The strange heartbeat continued. And then his computer displayed a line of text. He didn't type it. One was punished. More will come. The screen blinked again. The galaxy must learn. Earth is not weak. Far above the planet, where no ship now floated, a soft rumble echoed across space. Something had changed, and Earth had only just begun. The second kill was supposed to be easy. Kairos, still shaken from what had happened with Maya, believed he could control everything. He believed he was stronger than Earth's anger. But he was wrong. This time his target was a woman named Lena, living in a small village near the mountains. She was a teacher, kind and gentle. She had no idea that a dark shadow was following her. Kairos appeared suddenly, a flash of light that no one could explain. Lena blinked, confused, then found herself trapped inside a strange room. It was cold and silent, like the ship where Maya had been held. "Why am I here?" Lena asked, fear rising in her voice. Kairos smiled. "This is science," he said. "I need to learn." Lena shook her head. "You're hurting people. You don't understand." Kairos ignored her words. He prepared the same device that had taken Maya's life, but as the machine started, something strange happened. The air grew thick. The hands of the clock on the wall slowed, then stopped. Outside, birds froze mid-flight. A cup on the table stopped. Its slow fall to the ground. Time had slowed. Kairos looked at the screens. "Impossible," he whispered. Lena's eyes widened. "What is happening?" Kairos tried to move, but his body felt heavy, as if stuck in thick mud. He looked out the window and saw the village frozen, people standing still. Cars stopped. Dog paused in mid-run. "Time is breaking," Kairos said, panic growing. Suddenly, the room filled with a soft, glowing light. From the light stepped a figure, a woman, tall and calm, with eyes like the sky. "I am the voice of Earth," she said. "You kill with no respect. Now you will feel the cost." Lena looked at the woman and felt a sudden peace. Kairos tried to speak, but the words caught in his throat. The woman reached out, touching the machine. It stopped. Lena's heart began to beat again. "But why?" Lena asked. "Why do this to me?" "Because you are human. And you are not alone," the voice answered. Outside, the world slowly moved again. Birds flew, clocks ticked, and cars rolled, but the air was different, heavy with warning. Kairos staggered back. "I must finish," he said, but his hands would not obey. The glowing woman turned to him. "You think time is yours? You are a stranger here," Kairos shouted. "I control the stars. I am above Earth." The woman's eyes shone brighter. "Not above, below, inside. Earth watches, Earth waits." Kairos fell to his knees. His power felt drained. Suddenly, Lena's voice came soft but clear. "Earth speaks through me. We protect life." Kairos closed his eyes, and when he opened them, he was alone. The room was empty. Lena was gone. Outside, the village was quiet, but alive. Karos looked at the broken clock. Time was moving, but slower. He knew the warning was real. Back on Earth, scientists detected a strange energy wave spreading through the atmosphere. It was like a pulse, a heartbeat that synchronized with Earth's rotation. One scientist whispered, "It's as if Earth itself is controlling time." In a small town, a little girl suddenly spoke words no one taught her. "Stop the killing," she said, "or time will stop forever." Karos watched from the shadows, knowing that his mission was no longer simple. Earth was alive in ways he could not imagine. And every life taken came with a price. The universe was watching, and Earth was sending its message loud and clear. The night was unusually quiet. The world seemed to hold its breath as the stars twinkled with a strange light. Deep in the shadows, Karos prepared for his third mission. This time, there was no hesitation. No doubt, he believed he could finish what he had started. His target was a woman named Sarah, a scientist working in a remote observatory. She was brilliant and kind, dedicated to understanding the stars. But tonight, she was about to become part of a much darker story. Karos appeared beside her, the same flash of white light that had taken others. Sarah's eyes widened, but she stayed calm. "Why do you do this?" she asked. "Why hurt innocent people?" Karos' voice was cold. "It is necessary. For knowledge, for power." Sarah looked beyond him, sensing something greater. Suddenly, the sky erupted with a thunderous sound. The stars flickered, blinking out one by one. "What is happening?" Sarah whispered. Keros looked up. His face went pale. The ground trembled beneath their feet. A deep voice echoed across the mountains. "Enough," Sarah turned. "Did you hear that?" Karos nodded slowly. "Earth is angry." The sky flashed again. Lightning danced across the horizon, but no rain fell. Instead, the light formed shapes, glowing symbols floating in the air. People in nearby towns heard the same sound, a deep, powerful voice repeating one word: "Enough." Karos gritted his teeth. "This is a warning." Sarah grabbed his arm. "We don't have to be enemies. Maybe we can stop this." Karos shook his head. "You don't understand. This is war." Suddenly, from the shadows, a figure appeared. It was the glowing woman, Earth's voice made human. "You have crossed a line," she said calmly. Keros raised his weapon, but it shattered in his hand. "You cannot fight Earth," the woman said. "We protect our own." Sarah stepped forward. "Karos, listen. The Earth feels pain because of you. Stop this before it's too late." Karos laughed bitterly. "You think words will save you? I have powers you can't imagine." The ground shook again. Mountains cracked. Rivers changed course. Karos stumbled. "You see now," the woman said softly. "Earth does not forget. Earth does not forgive." Sarah looked up at the sky, where the stars had gone dark. "Maybe this is bigger than us," she said. The glowing woman nodded. "It is." Karos fell to his knees, the weight of his actions crashing down on him. The voice echoed once more. "Enough." Silence followed. Sarah reached out her hand to Karos. "It's not too late." Karos looked at her, then at the sky. For the first time, he felt fear. The stars returned, but the message was clear. Earth had spoken, and the universe was listening. Karos floated alone in the dark space above Earth, staring at the glowing blue planet below. His ship hummed quietly, but inside him, anger burned like a fire. He had seen Earth's power. The warnings, the lights in the sky, the strange voices. But he did not fear. He laughed. "Earth thinks it can stop me," he said to himself. Pathetic, he turned to the controls and pressed a button. "Show me the stars." A bright screen appeared, filled with countless shining lights, stars, planets, galaxies. His home was small in comparison. He smirked. "I have power over all this. Earth is just a small rock." Suddenly, the stars flickered. One star in the distance blinked once, then vanished. Kairos frowned. What was that? The screen showed the star again. But it was gone, not exploded, not burned. Simply erased. His fingers trembled. No, this cannot be. A deep voice echoed in his mind, calm but strong. Do not mock Earth. Kairos laughed louder. Who are you? A planet? A voice in my head? The voice answered. I am the life beneath your feet. The air you breathe. The water that flows. And the power you ignore. Suddenly his ship shook. Lights flickered. The temperature dropped sharply. Enough, the voice said. Kairos slammed his fist on the console. You took a star? This is impossible. The voice replied, you took. From Earth. Now Earth takes from the sky. Kairos tried to contact his people, but the comms were dead. No answer. He looked out the window. The stars, once bright and many, were fewer now. A cold silence filled space. Panic rose in Kairos' chest. For the first time, he felt small. Earth. He whispered, what do you want from me? The voice answered softly, respect, balance, life. Kairos sank into his chair. I mocked you. I ignored you. Now I see. The ship's sensors detected a new signal from Earth's core. A heartbeat, slow and strong. He realized then the truth. Earth was not just a planet. It was a living force, ancient and powerful. Can I stop this? Kairos asked, fear and hope mixing inside him. The voice said, change your path or lose everything. Outside, the stars flickered again. Earth had taken one, and it was only the beginning. The silence after the loss of the star was heavy. Kairos sat alone in his ship, staring out into the vast emptiness. His plans were unraveling faster than he could control. Earth was stronger than anyone had guessed. But somewhere inside, a new force was rising, a force that might challenge both Earth and Kairos. In a hidden place on Earth, far from the eyes of the world, a group of people gathered in a secret room. The air was tense. The walls were covered with maps and screens showing stars, planets, and Earth's mysterious signals. A woman stepped forward. Her eyes were sharp, her voice calm but strong. We cannot ignore what is happening. Earth is alive. It is fighting back. A man in the crowd frowned. Who leads us? Who can stand against Kairos and his power? The woman smiled slightly. That is the question, isn't it? At that moment, the door opened, and a young man entered. He moved quickly but without fear. I know who can lead, he said simply. The room grew quiet. The woman looked at him. And who is that? He met her gaze. Someone who understands Earth, someone who has felt its voice. They exchanged glances. Do you mean Maya? Someone whispered. Yes, the young man said. She is gone in body, but not in spirit. Earth speaks through her. The group nodded slowly, hope growing. Outside, Kairos was unaware of the resistance forming. He was focused on rebuilding his power. But the signals from Earth grew stronger, as if guiding the group below. The young man continued, we must listen. Follow the signs. Earth chooses its protectors. The woman nodded. Then we prepare. For a fight not just for Earth, but for the galaxy. Kairos felt a strange chill in his ship. He looked down at the blue planet and whispered, who leads? The resistance? I will find out. Far below, the resistance gathered strength. And the leader they sought was closer than anyone imagined. The battle for the future was just beginning. Kairos sat alone in the cold darkness of his ship, staring at the fading stars. The silence was heavy around him, but inside, a storm raged. Regret. He never thought he would feel this. After everything he had done, taking lives, mocking Earth, destroying stars now, a strange weight pressed on his heart. Why? He whispered to the empty room. Why do I feel this? Memories came flooding back. Maya's bright eyes, filled with pain and forgiveness. Lena's calm courage when time slowed. Sarah's quiet hope. Each life he took was not just a number. It was a soul, a story. A light gone dark. He clenched his fists. I was wrong, he admitted. Earth was not weak. I was the destroyer. But it was too late. Outside, the signals from Earth grew louder, stronger. The planet was healing, yes, but it was also preparing. Preparing for a final reckoning. Kairos tried to reach out to the resistance. Stop, he begged in a message sent through the stars. I am sorry. I want peace. No answer came. Instead, a voice filled his ship, calm and deep. Regret will not undo what is done. But change can still begin. Kairos looked up, hope and fear mixing. I will try, he said. The voice smiled in his mind. Then begin. But, as Kairos made his choice, a new danger appeared. The galaxy had watched Earth's rise and fall. Some feared Earth's power. Others wanted to use it. Kairos knew the fight was far from over. I must face what I created, he whispered. And with that, he set a new course. Toward Earth, toward the resistance, toward a future unknown. The past was heavy, but the future was his to shape. Darkness spread across the galaxy like a slow, creeping shadow. Stars blinked uncertainly, and planets trembled. Something was breaking, a deep crack in the very fabric of space. In a distant council room on a massive starship, leaders from many worlds gathered. Their faces were grave, voices low. The galaxy is unstable, said one. We have felt the cracks. Systems are failing. Energy is disappearing. Another shook her head. We do not know why. But it started after the killings on Earth. A young commander stood, fists clenched. Is Earth causing this? Is it fighting back again? No one knows, the elder answered. But Earth is silent. Silence. That word hung heavy in the room. Far below, on Earth itself, the planet remained calm. The forest swayed gently, oceans lapped quietly at the shores. No message came. No sign of anger or mercy. Kairos, now an unlikely messenger between worlds, stared at the calm blue sphere. Why does Earth stay silent? He wondered aloud. Is it waiting? Watching or preparing? His companion, a resistance leader named Mira, looked at him with steady eyes. Maybe Earth's silence is the loudest message of all, she said. It does not need to shout. It lets the galaxy break while it grows stronger. Kairos nodded slowly. We have underestimated Earth. We thought it weak, but it is patient, wise. Suddenly, the ship trembled. Lights flickered. The crack in space was not just a metaphor, it was real. Brace yourselves. Mira shouted. The galaxy shook harder. Stars dimmed, some vanished completely. The console screens showed space tearing apart like paper. We must act, the young commander yelled. If the galaxy cracks, everything will fall. Kairos looked toward Earth again. Earth stays silent, but it is not idle. A soft voice filled his mind. Balance must return. The galaxy must heal. But first, sacrifice is needed. Who speaks? Kairos asked. I am Earth's will, the voice said. I protect life by breaking what is broken. Myra reached out. We must trust Earth, even in silence. As the crack widened, a strange peace settled over the ship. The leaders lowered their weapons, uncertainty mixing with hope. Kairos whispered, the galaxy cracks. Earth stays silent. And maybe that silence is the key. Outside, stars flickered in the dark. A new dawn waited, unseen but coming fast. The stars above Earth seemed to pulse with life, glowing softly against the deep black sky. Far below, the planet was quiet but alive, as if holding its breath. Something was coming, something that would change everything. In a hidden chamber. Beneath the surface, a figure stirred. Slowly she opened her eyes, bright, full of light and purpose. It was Maya. She remembered the pain, the darkness, and then the warmth of Earth's spirit. She was not just a woman anymore. She was Earth's voice, its final hope. Where am I? Maya whispered. A gentle voice answered, You are home. Earth has kept you safe. Maya sat up, feeling strength return to her limbs. She looked around and saw the resistance waiting for her. We thought you were lost, Mira said, stepping forward. I was never gone. Maya replied, Earth held me, and now I return to finish what was started. Outside, Keros watched the sky, torn between fear and hope. If Maya returns, what will happen to me? Mira placed a hand on his shoulder. You can choose. Join us. Help Earth protect the galaxy. Keros hesitated but nodded slowly. Suddenly, the ground shook. The galaxy's crack was growing larger, pulling stars and planets toward its dark center. Maya stood, her eyes glowing with power. Earth will make its final move. A wave of energy burst from the planet, reaching into space like a web of light. It wrapped around the crack, sealing the tear. The council leaders on the distant ships gasped. The galaxy began to heal. Keros looked at Maya. You saved us all. Maya smiled softly. We saved each other. Earth's voice echoed across the universe. Balance is restored. Life will continue. But remember, respect life, or the silence will return. The stars shone brighter than ever. The galaxy was whole again, and Maya, Earth's guardian, watched over it all. The end of one story was the beginning of another, a story of hope, strength, and the power of life itself.